Welcome back to our conversation with Margaret and Kumar, who are doing some wonderful work in the world of filmmaking. So, talking of this interdependence between you, Margaret and Kumar, this union of the two of you getting into holy matrimony was somewhere pushed by Kumar's family. That's a little tough to believe. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I think it was not so difficult to believe for me. You know, I'm just a Western girl. You know, I felt so good with Kumar's family. It was like, you know, when you are comfortable with other people who are so distant culturally. You know, you don't understand each other. First of all, you don't.
So language would have been an issue, right?
But I mean, well, when you make an issue out of language, then it is an issue.
Okay.
So we had this, you know, body language type of a thing, that the love was coming from, you know, directly to each of us. So, and love and care, which is so important, the human aspect of human relations, you know, like being together, caring for each other. And so that was something which automatically has come out, and you know, Kumar was actually the most surprised.
Yeah, I mean, she came down to meet my parents and just saw the situation, how it is. And of course, she liked the work and everything, but to see the family and the values, and then she said, okay.
So your parents said that yes, they would.
Yeah, immediately said yes.
And when I came you know, to India, when I've seen South India, that was my first, it was 2000.
2000, yes.
It was my first insight to the culture, to the music. Of course, that was, you know, everywhere Rayman music and of Tal. And so much of those sounds, and the nature, the beauty, and the, you know, the people, and it was just like, you know, I'm coming home. I couldn't understand, you know, and the interesting part of it is that my family, staying far away, not knowing India at all, somehow they felt distrust. I don't know, some telepathy, I have no idea what happened, but they had trust. Whatever your decision, they told me, your decision, I think you are right.
Okay.
Whatever you do, you are smart girl, it is right. And so they came, of course, on our marriage.
Yeah, that's a very different funny part, that we arranged a marriage hall, you know.
Okay.
But Margaret came and cancelled all. She said, let us get married only in the temple, in front of the god. So we got a traditional Hindu wedding in the temple, Hindu temple only.
Okay.
And of course, it was widely covered by all the newspaper and media in South India.
That was the biggest surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you know, it gathered so much attention suddenly, which we didn't look for, first of all, and somehow, you know, people were interested at what is that? You know, there is somebody who is coming, wants a traditional, and again, important part is that we are in conservative land of Tamil Nadu, where they rarely marry outside their own community.
Let's say 10 years back. Now the situation
things
is
are
all
opening
changing.
up
Absolutely.
a little. Okay.
Yeah. And in fact, Margaret made a film also about interreligious marriage.
Okay.
We shot ourselves on the wedding.
So you were the subjects of your own film.
Yes.
So
exactly. And then we made a film also to showcast in European television as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
How have your sensibilities as a filmmaker changed because of this move from a Western, you know, context to a completely Eastern one?
You know, coming from Poland, we are sort of, we feel that, you know, there is a little of supremacy of, you know, that Polish films are kind of very, you know, they are always in the festival circles, the outdoor cinema. So you have names, you have a few directors, and you just say the name. And everybody knows what you are talking about. And I'm brought up from such tradition that people are, you know, extremely egocentric and very autocratic about, you know, their own style of filmmaking. They demand a lot. And so that actually the filmmaking is a teamwork, isn't it?
Yeah, it's maybe I can say too much of a own style, which is was like it's still going in Eastern European maybe. Here, we tend to adopt the own style into the period style to mingle it with that.
Okay.
Then you can move on. Otherwise, you may sometimes lagging behind.
Okay.
You may have a strong your own way of making film, but you have to see what is the period as well, actually.
Right.
You are talking about the
In
current
yes.
the scenario, which
scenario or the in the period cell in terms of a way of using technology or a way
Yes.
of
that's
reading the
important.
people's mind as well.
Okay.
That's important.
And Margaret, you felt that that enriched the way you made films, right?
Oh, definitely, yes. And India is, the part I always keep saying that India is the most, human-oriented culture, in the sense that you see other people. Not mentioning those beings which we have discussed, in Ecodharma.
Yes.
Like you are seeing more than humans, you are seeing the other living beings, but as a humans, you really see them, you consider them, you are not taking your action without considering others, whatever, their own well-being or whatever, wrong-being, anything. This is that, it's like a network, human network.
We're all connected.
Absolutely, and it works only if you are part of this network. If you are coming out, then you are like there's some particle without purpose and
Rootlessly floating around.
absolutely, which we do in the West. It is exactly that individualism of Western, especially like if I say filmmakers, and of course, totally, we are unapproachable almost in this kind of, you are like a fortress, which India is not. So I think I broke my fortress, which started coming up. It was not very well formed, but started coming
You were
up.
caught in time.
I think so. I was 25 when I came for the Kumbh, and 27 we got
Yes,
married.
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, Autumn in the Himalayas. It's another film that you've made.
That idea came up in 2003. In fact, we were doing a small film about in Ladakhi nuns for again a European television. So then Margaret thought of it should be a bigger film to address so many issues geographically, socially, and all the living conditions as well as their lifestyle and everything. So it took about more than 3 years to do the research, and finally we made in 2008. It got completed again for Doordarshan only, of course.
Okay.
It is a one-hour film to address, because there are so many films about monks. Rarely you can come across films about nuns.
Nuns. Very sweet.
Yeah.
Especially Buddhism is considered egalitarian religion, which doesn't differentiate the men and women, but here, interestingly, there was a huge gap, huge, and especially Ladakh, as Ladakh is very special for Tibetan Buddhism, as it is kind of still probably true. If one wants to experience what is Tibetan Buddhism, there is only one place to go, is Ladakh.
True.
Because the monasteries, the customs, and the knowledge is preserved there as it was developed.
Yes.
So in that way, but what happened, that social aspect of the religion there, which is the nuns situation, that they were just sort of misused.
바 창만 독세요 다바 창만 다조 창만 독세나 갈래 가바다 때는 간당 익숙할래 달로 찍기시기 가요 송네 되나 간바 독세네 가서 때네 찔레 가지 할 때래 짜지 찔레 때는 발아마 찔레 때나 째때나 갈래 가서 되네 양 가다오르 징메빙메 가지 때나 할 때나.
But when you look at them, you don't feel like that. Still, they are very much.
They are very joyful,
very joyful.
There's acceptance, no? They've accepted that.
Their way practicing their religion. Yeah. This film has also been to so many festivals around the world, and some of the foundation, they came forward to...
And they took up the cause.
Yeah, and also to contribute whichever way, like, they could identify, and really they are doing not bad now.
Wonderful.
So that is good to hear it.
Now
actually,
the young girls can really enter the spiritual path in Tibetan Buddhism without any doubt.
Wonderful. As a couple who are so passionate about filmmaking, what do films really mean for you?
What do you say?
You
know, it's very difficult to see the way we are actually.
You know, this is the beauty, the sense of life. You know, you need a passion. You need something which
it's difficult to describe.
You have little bit of control over it. Yeah, as a filmmakers, we do have a little bit of control.
Okay.
And especially, for example, as we do documentaries together, and but our documentaries are not those, you know, hardcore documentaries which you are like a cinema verite. You've just put the camera and record. We always use that film language, you know, to bring things. You know, we are planning things. It is little bit of, you know, that element of conscious usage of film language, which is delightful. You know, that is about filmmaking. It's the beauty of filmmaking.
As we say thank you to you for coming onto our show, we'd like to also share with you that there is purity, there is passion, there is love, and there is human element in the work that you do. May you go from strength to strength and a large amount of togetherness forever in your life. Thank you so much for coming on our show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.